Hey, today's show, it's called Any Normies Around? Chat with a Seeker on 111-2026.
January 11th, 2026. In Europe, that's 111, and in the West, it's 111. So in Latin times, that was the numeral or digit 3. And the reason it was I was the unity it shared with 1 and 2, which were I and I. So today is a day to see all three I's together in one unit, you. You are a product of your mother, father, and your unique code in this world. So you are a triune, 3 and 1. And of course, the reason. So we did find a normie in the chat room, and his name is Randomo. So Randomo was hearing me talk about ciphers that we found in plain sight, and we were trying to share them with the group in a chat room. So he did spring forth or sprouted forth and made himself known.
And he said, "Hi, could you explain the ciphers, please?"
Yeah, I want to. I've been working since 1960s to discover why the adults in my world were hypnotized. So I'm in my 60s now, and that's a baseline for us to get started in our combo.
And his reply, "Okay."
So I'm also married to a woman since 1986, and we both found God and beat pain and death as a team. We want to testify, but we are always attacked. That's another baseline for our combo.
And Randomo said, "Yes."
Now, fatalism is the number one force in this world. It's a ploy to trap us. We members of mankind are representatives of God, the most unique one. God is not a mortal or a judge. God provides the playing field. Man wills reality.
And Randomo's response, "Yes."
We.
And Randomo said, "And how do we avoid death?"
Well, death is a transition, so that's a continuum that you're in now. And death happens once a day when we sleep. So death will always be part of your experience. It's a transition. DE plus ath means of or dismiss the transition. Our speech and language is answering every question or lie. Death is of its own void. It's a place to be nowhere, like sleep. The world teaches to drive fast, so that way we miss all the clues and the cues, so we stay in the queue. Unique has Q within the spelling. Uni plus Q. One waiting and one with a Q. Or that could be the letter Q, or the waiting area, or the Q at the end of a Q stick, the point, or it could be a clue. Q as a symbol reveals the human condition because nothing is hidden. It's just ignored.
And Randomo responded, "Are you Hindu?"
No, I'm a man, and I had many teachers and a decade's marriage, and I reject any and all religions.
And he said, "So, atheist,
Come again?
a Hindu can be man. I don't hate you. I'm asking a question."
But I don't want your anti-God hatred.
"No, I'm not here to convert you. It's just because you are stated as Hindu in the other server. I want to listen."
Well, I am anti any religion and pro-God.
"Explain. So you believe in God but not religion?"
Religion as a word, when we parse it, is RE, meaning repeat or return, and lig, L-I-G, is the root word for tie down or bind, and ions are the wave functions that support all matter, living or dead, so that's the wave function or energy of God. So releg ions are designed as political vehicles to hide God. They hate God and mortals.
And Randomo responded, "But without God, there wouldn't be religion."
And is it possible you believe that because it was repeated to you over and over again? God does not require religions. That's a lie, a bold lie.
So, what is the goal of life?
To win.
What's the win? What happens when we win?
Well, I imagine completion and total resolution to unity and separations, and then self-actualization and oneness with God.
And Randomo said, self-realization?
Sure.
Do you know what the goal of Hindus is?
I only know Hindu is the first religion, but I studied with a Sufi mystic from South India and Ceylon from 1970 on.
The goal of Hindus is to reach moksha, which is self-realization, being one with God.
Well, that sounds nice, but religions are primarily to separate families and men.
And Randomo said, how come?
One word, pride.
Randomo said, well said.
The P ride is a code to resolution. It's seen in the alphabet and the sequence of P, then the set of QRST. It's actually an ancient code before Christianity was formed.
Randomo said, what's that?
Well, QRST equals cursed, but QR with a star in the middle or a fifth element plus ST equals Christ, the word, not the man. P equals perfection and the still.
And Randomo said, how can we win in life?
And Randomo happened to say that exactly 8:09 a.m., which in sequence of an acronym is EN, or the phonetic spelling of N in the alphabet that represents the newborn child. So Randomo asked how to win right at the number 89, which literally is the EN game, the N game. But my answer to how can we win in life to Randomo was a woman and a man can do it as a team.
What do they need to do?
Release all secrets to each other and aim for parity.
After that, will you achieve self-realization?
Well, both must want that. When both learn to listen, both learn to hear, and progress becomes inevitable. Thank you for the convo.
This section is called Latin is Literal. Latin is a literal language, is why it makes no sense in today's world. Nervous system in a human makes him a walking tree. Philosophistry, that's philosophy, because it's philosophistry, is invented to chase away the obvious and contain mentalities. Who wants the escape codes to Mortal Kombat Continuum and its God's arms?
Into
God's arms.
Better read that line again.
Who wants the escape codes to Mortal Kombat Continuum and into God's arms? I come with a sword to fight for peace. Who will fight for their birthright? Winning flows like water, and the map is inside every person's brain. Each of us is carrying the map to completion. Each has the power to form any reality. Woman and man are designed to reunify. Who wants victory over death? History of feminism displays the solution. Hi HI plus story is a code to completion. Transhumanism is here since Babylon.
Rome's only claim is stealing and genocides, and it's the same gang that runs the world today. All the Rome power at the fall of Rome was transferred to the HRC, and that's not the wife of a president, that's the Holy Roman Church. The cathedrals never had crosses until after 1400s. They were community resonance centers. The solutions to all of our dilemmas are in our pockets. The AI will enforce the vexed. The faith we carry is fiat. That means by some other guy's decree. Carnivorous and coronavirus have the same sounds and letters, and 91 Divac is a Hebrew code.
And now a word about 1-9, which reduces to ON.
It's an acronym.
Oh, that's the acronym, sorry. ON. And then that reduces to N. It began in Babylon and beyond as the science of transhumanism, or the theft of the God spark from mortals continues. And here is a convo with Appleye. Appleye says 1-9 explains the human condition and purpose with a guided eye. And a chatter, John responded, how so?
Well, you joined this server on 1.9 or 9.1, depending on where you live. And that's AI or am I versus IA or I am. An example of the sounds in speech, the words and the letters, and the sequences and the digits. They're all aggregating forward just like a human does, and with the human species. Thus, everything is confirmed and absolved with careful study of the aggregating nature of the symbols, the speech, and the sounds.
So John replied, I don't get what you're saying. I and A are the first and ninth letters, and you're probably right by saying I joined on January 9th. But how does that mean anything else of what you just said? And then another chatter said, what is the most spiritual number?
And
John said, every time I looked up 11, Google and all the sites that show up on it always say 1-1 is the number of spiritual awareness. And if not that, then 7.
You know, that's funny because in Africa, the child holds up 2 middle fingers for 1-1. And of course, that's himself holding it. So it's really 1-1-1, or in Latin, I. But the truth is, the most sacred numbers are 8 and its gatekeeper 7.
John said, what was I supposed to take away from what you said?
That language and a lifetime are both aggregating to the present.
And he said, okay.
Now, everyone I know rejects that language is as supernatural as a lifetime. But 1-9 shows the story of creation, mankind, and mankind's purpose.
Do you mean each number as one purpose or all of them as one collective purpose?
Well, think of it this way, many paths and one purpose.
John said, by as a lifetime, do you mean it just affects our life supernaturally?
Each day that we live, we aggregate the experiences, all of them, to the present. The number 6 is the masculine and the spiral, the expansion. The 9 is the feminine and the reduction, or the compaction, the fractal. Now the ions are the wave functions that support matter, whether it be animate or what.
And now a word about the Christ idea.
Yes, the Christ idea, which is what it was until the Romans stole it and made it a name. The Christ is born to every man. We're all equals to quote unquote Jesus. Ask me, I'm a living witness to God. I will testify.
And a chatter came on loyal at 1:11 p.m. Okay. Well, I would say that as far as we can describe it and imagine it, it is conceptual, but we have to separate concepts from reality. The reality is that we are dealing with things that are incomprehensible.
And then they read us a quote from the Bible.
From Isaiah. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts.
And if that's not obvious, you're oblivious. Oh, wheels, run it again and again, but never again. Who wants the escape codes? Who's curious to know thyself?
Hey, Miss Loyal Puff. He said, we can conceptualize things whilst acknowledging the limitations of those concepts. No description of God can be perfect.
How about all descriptions of God are perfect? Who will judge me? Should I stuff it?
So if I say God is a peanut, it's perfect?
Yes. And are you testing me?
So you're saying if I say God's essence is indistinct from that of a peanut's, you can logically defend that position?
Logically?
Yes.
Now, why is logic the standard?
Ah, I can think of ways to they're heretical and Gnostic, but I can.
Well, Gnostic is based in the root word GNO, which led to our modern word KNOW in language. The word gnosis in old times means knowing. Okay, well, I found another normie in another place, and we were talking about the ciphers that are in plain sight, or the codes that are in all things, including speech, sounds, language, letters, digits, sequences, timing, context, all of it. And it's all observable and easy to pick up. So finally, a normie came along and asked me a question.
Okay, sir, what's your cipher?
Well, the cipher we're using mixes phonetics with the letters and the correct values of the digits or the sequences. And one mistake that people make is to count J as a digit.
How do you assign numerical values to phonetics? Oh, it's just all the vowels and consonants and how they can be traditionally orally spoken in the English language?
Where and when did I say assign numerical values to phonetics?
Phonetics is a big part I didn't mention, though. Same way how similar words are spelt similarly, they relate to each other. Same goes for how they sound, etc. And you can gauge connections that way. What do you mean by correct values of the digits or sequences?
Well, I appreciate you schooling me, Professor, but I've been writing books on this topic for several years. My partner and I decoded the speech and the symbols and the sequences as they pertain to our reality and molding it. I would recommend that you start with 1 through 9. They're triunal in two different ways: 4 in, 4 out with 5 in the center, or 3 sets of 3.
So they responded, what's your book called?
Well, I'd like written 20 to date. Should I put all of those titles here right now?
Oh, John came back and he said, PP.
And then I was banned from that server.
Oh. This section is a word about is crying a path to God.
So in the convo, I asked, why does no one want answers? Does not the crying get boring?
Well, I live to hear their anguish. Mr. Loyal said that.
Well, reunification is the godly way to victory, completion, and progression. And I published this at 247 my time, which is 4 times 7 is 28. But that's a phrase, 28, which is a coincidence. But let me ask you, why is 6 scared of 7? Hey, save your mentality. The Tao and the Tao explains all via simple observation. The yes is Y plus S, the thought before the form, and the OM is the one many. A human is a universion of the universe. A spark of God is embedded into each human.
And we say NRG is a code, one returning, Ga A Dao. Ga A Dao. Letter has several codes in it. Let equals loosen or slacken and release. Ter equals third, the child.
Loosen the child.
LE plus ter equals the tau thing. And 4 to 8 equals 4 to 8 as a ratio, and 1/3 to 2/3 as a fraction.
Yeah, stay out there. Stay out in the street.
Why?
Because it's too muddy, you might slip. Just follow me along. I'll walk down the fence line and you stay on the street. Because it was raining and stuff.